How beneficial has the time off and practice
Oh,
you guys
man.
gotten so far this week been?
I can't tell you from so many different angles. As you know, firstly, like just a rest part, right? Most games played, most back-to-backs, right? I think that's true. So it comes at a good time, and then we could. It gave us the coaches some time to deep dive and on where we can get better. Have a great film session, which I think we did today. Talk some team stuff, and then have like a real legit practice. Like I feel like great about today. Like as a coach, just from a coach's perspective. I don't know what the players think, but it was this reset is good, and then we got a couple more days to get it right.
You mentioned the deep dives and areas to get better. What specifically came up in this?
So because we have multiple days, we focused on our defense today. Tomorrow we'll focus on the offense. I can't. It was so multi-layered, right? Like I think there were every phases of defense. We had breakdowns kind of twofold: compete / focus. I think they're married a little bit, so we showed them a fair amount of clips, so that was good. And then we structured practice to line up with that, and where we can get better, and so feel good about what we did today. Felt like we got better.
Did Jared practice today?
Yes.
So he's
full participant. Looked good.
What about Sam?
Sam, no. And I don't know what to tell you guys. He's frustrated, we're frustrated, and it's just a slow healing process. That's where we are. Hasn't gotten worse. Swelling swelling is decreasing. But the fact is he's still not able to shoot. It's right, and catch. And we can't. It's just hard to move forward. So we're just focusing on sprinting, conditioning. You guys know Sam. He's doing everything else. He's frustrated more than anybody that this thing's not healing quicker. But there's nothing structural, nothing setback, nothing like that.
How much are you missing just the movement element in general? Because Sam's absence is now coinciding with Max's absence. And you have guys that can kind of do that, but they're not the same kinds of players.
Yeah, we're missing our connectors and gravity that goes with that. It's a big thing for your offense. Now we've supplanted that with, Naquan's different, right? He's a cutter slasher. He fits that, but right now we kind of don't have that piece. We don't have another player that kind of fits that. CP's kind of a roller, again another slasher, so that causes a little bit of an imbalance on what we're doing and an adjustment in what we're doing. So we're going to address that part tomorrow, how we can. Because I don't think it's like, let's create another Sam, or it's like, how can we use Naquan better? How can we use Jalen better? How can we? Because they're just different type of players. So, yeah.
Kenny, over the last 5 years, there have been multiple teams that have made the NBA Finals that haven't had a positive record going into their first 25 games. Obviously, you guys are 14 and 10. What have you, or 14 and 11, excuse me. How have you guys learned in those first 25 games of where you guys are and where you can go?
Yeah, I think it's important to have that perspective, that historical perspective, so you don't panic or you don't overreact. I just kind of like with this reset, and emphasize our principles of play on both ends, and then kind of double down on our processes, right? Instead of saying, oh man, we gotta change a lot of things, change our prep, how we do shoot around, how we do practice. I feel like, that's part of this reset is just, getting back to what we started in training camp, our identity. And quite honestly, Ethan, like in 5 and 7, you don't have time to do that. And there's slippage. Slippage happens. Especially when you're playing 3, 4 young guys, it happens. That's why I was telling Chris and how important this stretch is for us to. I'm not going to do training camp because we can't, but it's a little bit training camp mentality. If we get back to our principles and our fundamentals and how we do things, double down on that, double down on our identity, there's really going to be no tweaks or changes in what we're doing.
And mental toughness was a buzzword for you guys coming into the offseason. Now you guys are in this situation, 5 days of rest, 5 days of practice. How do you feel, how important is it for you guys to respond to adversity when it comes out of the stretch?
Yeah, this is almost like a practice stretch, right, of mental toughness and resiliency, all the stuff we're talking about. Because it's not fun, it's not joyful, so you're a little tweaked, you're a little frustrated, and how are we going to react to that? It's like being down 2-1 in a playoff series, like, man, it does not feel good. It does not feel good right now. And how do we react to that? How do we bounce back? So this is an important stretch to see how we kind of react to our struggles right now.
What do you want to see from the group when you do come back on Friday?
It always starts with raising your compete level, and in the NBA that means being more consistent with that. Doing it longer. We're a very competitive team. We have competitive players. Right now we have slippage in how consistently we're doing it. And then, Chris, we talked about it a couple of days ago. How to bounce back from missing shots, that resiliency. And there's been some slippage there where it's not run back on defense. Miss a closeout or mess up a closeout because the offensive end affected you. So those are kind of the two big areas I think we got to improve.
The numbers kind of suggest that Evan has largely been pretty similar production-wise to last year. I know there's more nuance below that. How would you evaluate his year-over-year development so far this year?
I do feel like he's slow start, but he's doing this. He's getting better. Self-corrected some things, and I told you guys, I have to take some of that hit, really trying to force feed him, didn't maybe put him in the best position possible, and we got together and we self-corrected. Leading the league in dunks, I think, last month. So super positive. Getting to the rim more, getting closer to the rim, still hitting his timely threes. And defensively, he's been really good as always. Challenging today. We need great. Especially where we are right now, we need even better from him. So he understands the responsibility. But I do like the trajectory he's on right now. He's getting back to Evan of last year.
And what is the value of this reset? You guys are all enjoying this break, and what is the value of this reset for him?
We're not enjoying it. We're like, we're on edge. Like we're competitors. We're not. This isn't fun. Today wasn't fun in the sense of film session was uncomfortable. Practice was uncomfortable. It's not. Everybody wants that joy. The joy comes back when you start improving and turning the corner as far as what we want as a team. So, but it's reset in the sense we can re-examine what our identity is and go back to where we started in training camp. That was my mindset coming into practice. Say, boom, reset. Hey, we did a lot of work in the off season. We did a lot of deep dives. Let's get back to that. Let's get back to that because I felt really good about our approach. We've had slippage, which is normal, but I feel like we had a good session today to get on the path to get back to playing Cavs basketball.
Thomas said that he was part of the player-led group meetings today, that they took advantage to come together and talk about some of the things you were just mentioning. Is it nice to have players that know that they have to get after it too and not just wait for you guys to give them the ball?
This team is self-driven. It's player-driven. It's player-led. I do say I think I also have to look in the mirror. I think especially with so many young guys in the mix, I can be a little more hands-on. I think that's going to be my little tweak. Like tonight, my little reset is be a little more intentional with how I'm coaching the young guys and helping them. We always have really great leadership with our players, but I can also do a better job, helping them be more consistent.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks.